Dawn breaks on a riverbank, where the first human footprints harden into history. Along the Tigris, the Euphrates, and the Nile, families gather by the fire. Here, in the cradle of civilization, the steady rhythm of their day begins, tied to the lifeblood of the water. These rivers become the spines of a new way of life. Villages swell into cities ruled by kings. Fields are cultivated, bronze is forged, and the first written scripts emerge. From the Indus Valley to the Yellow River, granaries rise and canals connect communities. But how did these scattered towns learn to trust one another, to share rules and stories? A great spiritual awakening, the Axial Age, provides a clue. In the first millennium BCE, new philosophies and religions like Hinduism and Buddhism offered frameworks for duty, meaning, and existence. These powerful ideas traveled with merchants and monks, weaving the first threads of a shared human consciousness. Soon, dust rises from caravan tracks that stitch together the known world. Across the Silk Roads, the Indian Ocean, and the sands of the Sahara, goods and beliefs travel together. A glass bead from Rome might find its way to China. A new script could cross a dozen languages. This vast network was made possible by the rise of great empires. To manage their immense scale, they developed sophisticated systems of law and bureaucracy. The Persians and Mauryans carved codes into stone, turning taxes into roads and order. In the East, Han China built a civil service on Confucian ethics. And in the West, Roman law and the idea of citizenship united a vast sea-ringed world. These ancient templates for order still shape our lives, in our city grids, our legal codes, and the very networks of trust that underpin our global economy. But these land-based empires were about to face a new frontier. The world tilted on its axis when salt spray met silver. For the first time, great oceans were not barriers, but highways. These crossings connected Afro-Eurasia with the Americas, unleashing the Columbian Exchange. New foods and resources reshaped diets and economies, while vast flows of silver funded European empires. But this connection came at a staggering human cost, built on conquest and coerced labor. At the same time, a torrent of new information fueled a scientific revolution and an enlightenment that dared to question all authority. The global balance of power and knowledge was changing forever. In crowded ports and printing houses, revolutionary ideas took hold. A series of upheavals reorganized the Atlantic world, giving birth to the modern nation-state. Simultaneously, a steam engine and the factory multiplied human power, reshaping society and scarring the landscape. What happens when change accelerates faster than the old order can adapt? This new industrial power drove railways across continents and empires to the far corners of the globe. But in its shadow, the seeds of resistance began to grow. The 20th century arrived in a storm of mud and cordite. The tensions of empire and industry finally erupted, plunging the world into two devastating wars. The old order was shattered. Out of the ashes, in 1945, a new framework for global cooperation was born, the United Nations. Yet peace was fragile. A Cold War divided the planet, while powerful movements for independence, civil rights, and gender equality challenged the very definition of power and citizenship. These struggles, born of conflict, would ultimately set the stage for our deeply interconnected world. Today, fiber optic cables hum beneath the same oceans once crossed by wooden ships, and satellites blink down on ancient cities. Our world now operates as a single planetary system, a web of finance, culture, and information. We can edit the very code of life, and artificial intelligence connects us in ways previously unimaginable. But this profound interdependence carries immense responsibility. A choice made in one hemisphere can trigger immediate consequences in another, from a pandemic to a climate shock. Our greatest challenges are now shared, demanding collective action on a scale never seen before. Understanding how we arrived at this moment is not just an academic exercise. It is the key to deciding what we must protect, what we must change, and how we will write the next chapter of our shared human story.